Hello, everyone, and welcome to FTB Sports. This is Solar United, and today we are joined by very special guests. So we've got Mr. B on. Hello, Mr. B.
Evening.
Good evening. Good evening. And then we've got Mr. Stone on. How you doing? You all right?
I'm fine,
Welcome.
thank you. Good
First
evening,
show.
gents.
First show. Let's get you in gently, as what we say. Get you in gently. And then as always, FTB Stitches. How we doing?
Yo, man, I'm blessed. How is everyone?
Good.
Good. Good.
Okay.
So, right, guys, obviously, this is the Manchester United FA Cup preview show versus Liverpool at Old Trafford. Kick-off at 5 p.m. this Sunday. So, first, let's go straight into it, guys. At the moment, Liverpool seems like they're not firing on all cylinders. I think it's 4 games now, haven't scored a goal. They've only conceded, to be honest with you, I believe 1 goal in 4 as well. So let's start up with one of their main players. He doesn't score a lot of goal, but he almost bring those sort of like the other front 2 in play. And I don't know whether or not it's him or the other 2 players around him. They're taking too many chances or too many touches, not moving the ball quick enough. Let's start talking about Firmino. So, Stitches. What's going on? What's like? I don't know.
So
Talk to us.
Look. First thing we need to understand is this: Roberto Firmino in his whole career is not really known as a prolific goal scorer. There are other attributes that he brings to the game. And I'm talking before he even came to Liverpool. This is a guy that averages across all competitions about 18 goals a season, right? So he's not there for his goal scoring attributes, which sounds mad when you're talking about a forward. But you look at someone like Emil Eski in his career, people that played with him appreciate what he does because they get a lot of goals as a result of that. Not saying Heskey didn't score goals, he did. But Firmino is kind of in that mold, right? So that's the first thing to understand, because I think there's a lot of misconception about, because he's a forward, because he plays that, that role, people expect him to score goals, right? Yeah, we do, but not prolifically, right? So that's the first thing to understand. Second thing we got to get down is that he is playing badly at the moment. He's not in form, right? Our forward line's not in form at the moment. We're not firing on all cylinders. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this team has been at top level performance for like near on 3 years. There's bound to be a dip. Do you know what I'm saying? And the difference is because of what we've achieved over the last few seasons. When you have that little dip, everyone's on it. Everyone's on it. It's like, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. Oh my God, it's all gone wrong. Like, the thing with fans is they need to relax. You understand, yeah? Don't get too gassed when we're winning, and don't get too upset when we're losing. It's football. There's bigger things going on in life. I know, I feel it with a passion. You understand? But I'm not going to get mad. Firmino, look, he's trying. No one goes out there not to score, right? But yes, we do need him to start putting the ball in the back of the net as well. And to be fair, the other things that he does, the stealing the ball back, the pressing, the starting the press, he's not doing it as well as he used to. But the whole team's not performing right now. So I'm not one to single out a player and say, that's the player that's causing all the team not to perform or whatever. I just think that the yin is not yang. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi, he said your yin and your yang must be in unison. It's not. Our yin is not yang right now. You understand? And to be honest, I'm shocked that we're where we are in the league. I expected worse considering the injuries and the fact that we're not playing well. We're just not playing well. You know what I'm saying? But I think the fans not being there is a big miss as well. For other clubs, it's a benefit because they ain't got that pressure. I think for Man United, it's a benefit that they're not playing in front of their fans, because when they're not performing, they're not getting that pressure, or when they part the bus, their fans wouldn't normally accept that when they're in the stadium, but it's cool. They could do them things now. Us, our fans, they're like the extra man. You know what I'm saying? They give the players that extra little boost, and we ain't got that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's affecting us. One of our best performances, I think, was when we had our fans there this season. Do you know what I'm saying? The players up their game, and that is missing. Anfield is something else. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my little rant on that. Let me pass the mic.
So Stoney. So obviously Stitches there saying he's not a goal scorer and he's never have been sort of that player who scored all these goals and stuff like that. But at the we're talking about sort of Mo Salah. So, like, say for instance, with him now, I was watching the game with Burnley. He came on as a substitute, Yeah. And it's almost like the connection for me, they weren't there.
I think Stephen's probably articulated everything at the moment in terms of how Liverpool are actually playing individually and collectively. Yeah. So if we're talking about partnerships, things aren't clicking. We're just obviously talking about Bobby, and you've obviously just mentioned about Salah in there. Our players are trying. I think if they weren't trying, that would probably be a concern. I'm probably similar to what was mentioned before as well. I don't think people should be getting worried. As a Liverpool supporter, I'm not worried at all. Look what we've done over the last 3 seasons. We chased Man City close to the league. They won it. Following season, we continue to do the same progress. We won the league. And it's the same thing this season as well. I'm not concerned one bit. Players are going to dip in their form. So at the moment, we just need to remain positive. And then the rhythm, the partnerships we actually need, we're going to be fine. I mean, our topic at the moment was about Firmino, right? If you think of the role that he actually plays offensively and defensively, we're looking at that defensive unit there in terms of how he presses. That other partnership's not there at the moment. Fabinho is not in there with him. Henderson is not in there with him, and neither is Gigi. So, of course, if we're just talking about how he actually functions in terms of the defensive side, that's going to have an impact on him. So, similar to what Stitches was saying, nobody should be made a scapegoat, and we're going to be fine. Not concerned.
So, Mr. B, with that, obviously Liverpool played United the other day, and I know you were saying about obviously negative football. I know you're one of the United fans out there don't really truly like the way United are playing. Stitches also alluded to it as well about being at Old Trafford. You'd get booed if there was fan in the ground. Now we're going with talking about Firmino. What do you think it is? Is it tired legs? Do you think Liverpool, because of the high pressure game they play week in, week out, do you think it's now caught up with them?
Could well be. It could well be, but I compare the non-stick that Firmino gets for not scoring and the stick that Martial gets for not scoring. So they're both strikers, but they're perceived to play different roles. Firmino doesn't have to score, but Martial has to score. So I don't understand if he's playing in that, but I understand he is the link man between that supplies Firmino, Mane and Salah. I understand that he's not in form, but Liverpool's a squad or Liverpool's a club where they should have a player who can replace that. He probably burn out. Them man have been running hard since Klopp started. That's what he does. But at the same time, I don't care. He's a Liverpool player. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, Firmino not scoring goals. Firmino scoring goals. I'm glad he's not scoring, and I'm glad he's form shit.
Thank you, Mr. V. Thank you very much. So, guys, if you are watching, please comment, subscribe, share, and get the latest information update on FTB Sports. Now, we're going to revert it back to you now, Mr. B, and let's start talking about a player who not a lot of United fans, a lot of fans and United fans don't really and truly believe in him. But for some reason, whenever he plays against Liverpool, he always seems to play half decent against them. And Liverpool versus United, Man United versus Liverpool, no matter where you put it, Solskjaer always pick him. Now,
yeah, because
would you go on?
No,
go on. So for you, go on. You go. I'll stop. You, Karen.
All right. My thing with Lindelof, when Lindelof plays, I think it sends out a negative note to the team in regards to none of them ain't got no pace, so they're not going to start high up the pitch. So games where he expects to be pressured are the games that Lindelof plays. Is Lindelof going to start tomorrow? I think he might play Bailly again, personally. Not because Lindelof, the way I think Lindelof's probably still a little bit injured. So give him the rest and play Bailly, if that's the case. But when he plays Bailly, it means that we are on the front foot. When he plays Lindelof, it means that we're showing the opposition team maybe the respect. When does Lindelof play? Really, if we had the choice, he would be playing the games where we're going to be starting deep and there's no space in behind, so that we don't necessarily need defensive pace to cover because there's no gaps in behind. So that's why if Lindelof plays, then to me, the suggestion already goes out that we're going to be playing deep football.
So now, Stitches, coming to you now. Lindelof is a player, obviously. I don't think as a fan base you guys would have him anywhere near your team. So why do you think so against Liverpool, Solskjaer is always so convinced playing him against you guys?
Well, because Solskjaer parks the bus when he plays us. It's the simple answer. You understand? He's not coming out to go toe to toe with us. He's not. He's not got that energy. And I think Mr. B hit the nail on the head. Like, you can tell what's going to happen. Like, I can tell you right now. Like, see, one of the things that makes our centre backs great, and I'm not trying to do a direct comparison here, is that we expect them to go toe to toe with the opposition attack. Right? We trust them. We put them on the halfway line, and we say, "Come if you're bad enough." You understand? Come if you're bad enough and take on Van Dijk. Come if you're bad enough and take up Matic. You ain't doing that with Lindelof.
Nah.
You understand? You can't do that with Lindelof. Yeah, because he will get exposed. I don't want to talk about the other guy because I know Man United fans are sensitive about it. So I'm going to leave the other, like the big head out.
Leave old big head, yeah? Right? Leave old big head out of this conversation.
Same kind of thing. You cannot put him on the halfway line and tell him to play against a man like Mane or Salah. It will be murder. You understand? So he's Mr. B spot on. Like, it tells you straight away, if you see Lindelof and the other guy partnered up, yeah, that they're going to be in front of the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box, yeah, you're going to have McTominay and Fred on the edge of the penalty area, and then you're going to have, you know, your wing back staying deep, and then you're going to have your wide strikers dropping in again. So that's what you're going to play, 2 banks of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to happen. So, you know, Lindelof as an individual, let me analyze him. I don't think he's that bad a centre back, but systems make matches, isn't it? And Solskjaer ain't dumb. Like, he ain't gonna try and play him in a way where he's gonna get exposed. He's gonna get as many bodies around him. So all he's got to do is do that final mop up, stick that final foot in, get a head on it when a cross comes in. Like, he hasn't got to do anything too clever. You understand?
Anti-football.
Like, first half of the last game we played, G-Lot, you saw right on the halftime when the referee blew the whistle prematurely. That's the situation you don't want Lindelof in. You don't want that ball going over the top and Mane running onto it and Lindelof having to turn. You don't want that, right? And I think it didn't happen enough last game. I'm hoping we could create them kind of situations if he does play, but that is definitely what Man United don't want Lindelof doing. So, yeah, he's a limited player. I don't think he's a terrible player. I just think it's about your system. Right now, I don't think Man United have the centre-backs to play the system that they would have played years ago. So he has to park the bus when he plays him.
Thanks. Yeah. So, going Stoney now, obviously alluded about obviously the defence and how sort of like going up against Mane, Salah would affect it. But going back and looking at a couple of United games on the stats and goal scoring and opportunity, and it seems like he always comes out on top playing against Liverpool, though. And he's up against Mane and Salah. I know, obviously, we're talking about the banks and how United play. But at the same time, he always comes up in roses playing against Liverpool. Also, stats-wise, between him and the player that no one wants to mention, they have the second best defensive record in Premier League this season.
So that's quite interesting you mention that, and obviously you're the stats man. If you are, or if Ollie's gonna have his setup similar to how Jose had it at Man United, or how Jose's currently got his setup at Spurs, then defensively, then your defensive stats are always going to be, as an example, in Lindelof and Maguire's favour. All right. The way that Jose's set up, he can replace Lindelof with Phil Jones, and Phil Jones will have the same stats as Lindelof because you're playing defensively. It's as simple as that. Stitches mentioned it previously. If you're playing that defensive block where your fullbacks aren't even going to push up, and you've got McTominay and Fred there sitting in front of your defenders, then your stats are going to be beautiful. Your stats are going to come out as if you were Cannavaro or if you were Maldini. You know, there's nothing on you. It's as simple as that. You know, the setup tomorrow is going to be defensively, and it's as simple as that. So Lindelof's stats and Maguire's stats are going to be beautiful, but I think it's going to be fabricated, and it's not going to be reflective on how they've played as individuals. It's going to be of how they played collectively. So those stats for me ain't going to wash tomorrow. They're not. If Ollie wants to sit back and defend deep, that's fine. Remember, Man United are going to be at home. It's going to be impetus for them to actually come out and actually get a result. And then we'll see how the result's going to be in the end. I'm confident that Liverpool are going to be victorious tomorrow. So I hope Lindelof does play, personally.
Let me say one thing. Look, it's interesting because the dynamic now, because it seems that when people get a draw against Liverpool at Anfield and we don't win, it's taken like we've lost. Right? And that, to me, I take that as a compliment because that shows the levels that we're performing at. So
that's all United.
But I'm interested to see now. Because you boys are topping it, or you're near the top of the league.
Yeah.
Like the energy.
I know you're not looking above yourself. It's all right.
No. You're top. All right, cool. The energy. You got the January. We're top trophy. Yeah. The energy is different from United fans right now, right? So I want to see, because that draw the other day, United fans were going on like they won something. You understand? I was pissed. I was pissed. I was fuming. You understand? I was fuming. But I want to see now, what's your energy going to be like if we go and play at your ground and you play the same way, and let's say it's a draw? Are you going to take that as a good result? Considering how bad we are right now, and everyone keeps telling us, and how good you're performing, according to what everyone's saying. So are you happy with a draw?
No.
Anything less than a win?
No.
Go on, Mr. B.
I want to win. But again, it's mad. I think if you had won against Burnley, you lot would have played a lot weaker team tomorrow than because right now you lot need to get your form back. So I think the team that you put out is going to be stronger. Whether or not it's 18, but I think probably Fabinho's going to play at centre back and Matic. Whereas if you won, all your confidence was up. I think the squad, the whole system, and the players playing would have been different. I think you're going to put out a strong team tomorrow. More closer to a league game than a 4th round, 5th round, whatever it is, FA Cup game. So I think it's going to be interesting, the team that Klopp actually goes for tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to remember that what have we got? We've got the game on Sunday, and then our game following that. I think is it on Thursday? It's on Thursday. So I think regardless of the outcome of the Burnley game, I don't think it would have had an impact on the squad we're putting for tomorrow. Bearing in mind that we've still got that big gap between the Sunday game and the game on the Thursday.
That's why I think you're going to play a stronger game, because you've got the extra 24 hours.
Well, I mean, in terms of that, how much stronger could we have got defensively?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking about as in terms of our defenders, because Trent and Robertson would have played either way. All right. Fabinho would have had to have played either way, and then Matip would have played. There's no other defensive selection we could have played.
So you think those 4 are going to play tomorrow?
I think that's all we have.
If I'm right to say, go on.
I don't see us playing Phillips or Williams.
I agree.
That's done. Like, you can't do that. Like, it's not fair on them kids. Like, you're gonna put that. You're gonna put your attack, which you know what I mean. Like, I might not like United, but you got to give respect that these are world class forwards. You're gonna put them kids to that with no Fabinho. Nah, that can't run.
Robinson might not play feature because he's got a slight knock, and he meant to be resting because of the Tottenham game.
So if Shimikas.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So if Robinson doesn't play, then we've got our Greek left back who's going to come in. Yeah, that's the only other change we can actually make.
Is it Shiminak or something like that?
Shimikas.
Yeah, he's down on the So what I do is I normally go and research a couple of different various areas to find out what the prediction team is, and he's down as well to play tomorrow.
That's fine. All right. So
sorry to interrupt. So the point I want to make, just to wrap this question up, is first of all, right, we don't have much choice in terms of the squad. The squad picks itself at the moment.
Yeah.
Given the injuries we have defensively, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is you have to look at how Jurgen Klopp has looked at the FA Cup and the League Cup since he's got it. He don't care about these cups. We don't. I personally, I know other Liverpool fans do, and I've had arguments with other Liverpool fans over this. They care about these cups. I don't. I genuinely don't. Right, my energy has not changed about these cups. I'm not bothered. You understand? Like for me, it's Champions League prep and the league and any other international trophies that we can win as a team. I'm not bothered about these cups. You understand? We use it as an opportunity to blood our youngsters, get some experience in them. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we haven't got that flexibility right now.
Right,
the other thing to take,
sorry, bro. Go on.
Yeah, the other thing we got to take into account is that the people and Liverpool fans are putting this as well. They don't take into account the process that Jurgen Klopp goes through to select a squad. Right? There are meticulous, scientists in the background that are looking at fitness. They're looking at fatigue build up in the muscle. They're looking at volume of games that we've played versus what's coming up where we're going to need them. And they're going to Klopp before he's even decided who's going to play. They're saying to him, this guy's in the red zone. This guy is all right to play. He can play X amount of minutes over the next few weeks. This guy, you're going to have to rest him at some point. So that's already in there. So given we've got injuries, given we've got a volume of games coming up and we're playing in a compressed season, his selection options are minimal right now.
Because if I'm right to say, you guys are playing, same as United as well, I believe you're playing Sunday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah.
He can't listen, the season's a marathon, it's not a sprint, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And as much as we fans look at this fixture, we think we can't lose this. We got to put our big guns out. This guy's got to play, that guy's got to play. There's a bigger picture that Klopp's dealing with. Right? And he understands that we don't want to lose this game, but he's got to balance that with what's best for the whole season, not just this fixture.
I agree with you, Stitches, as well, and I think that's why I think there was the inclusion for Shaqiri, Thiago, and Ox in the game against Burnley, and I think it is to do with those things. Yeah, I agree.
So prediction squad as well. I'll do it as we're doing it. We're looking at Thiago will play on Sunday. We've got Salah will play on Sunday as well, and the Ox is a 50-50 apparently, him playing.
Okay, I would like to see Minamino have an opportunity to play. I think with the Shaqiri, when he played in the 3, so he played on the right hand side of the 3 against Burnley. And obviously that's where he's obviously cutting in from that right, trying to do a deeper opportunity than Salah would do. But I think the energy from Shaqiri and I think the energy from Thiago was fine against Burnley. If they're included in Sunday, that would be fine. I'd like to see Minamino have an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think given the fact that I expect you guys, and you could pull out a surprise, given the fact that I think you guys are going to sit deep, I don't mind a midfield that has more creative players in it, more enforcers. I hear Henderson's got a bit of a green strain, so I don't.
Yeah, Henderson won't feature. He won't feature.
Don't risk it.
Gini Wijnaldum, he's been exemplary this season, but he's got a lot of minutes in his legs. So if he chose to rest him, I wouldn't be surprised.
He's played most games for Liverpool as well this season.
Yeah,
exactly. So we might see Curtis Jones get a start in this game.
Yeah, Jones is there for it as well.
I think Thiago has to start. I just think he has to right now. The forward line is where I'm really interested because I think Mane might not start, seeing as he started the other day. I think Salah will start. I think you might have a case where it's Origi and Firmino that plays. Minamino, if he gets brought in, I think it might be that he's not going to start Firmino because not because Klopp sticks with his players, innit? I just think for a difference. I actually thought Origi played quite well the other day, except for he was unlucky with that. I thought he did really well. It was unfortunate, but I think he might get a game against Man United. So look, the whole point is this: how much is Klopp going to go for it, and how much is the fact that we've got a game against Tottenham coming up going to be in his thoughts? That's what it is, and this is where United have an advantage right now because I think you have squad depth. You can bring in changes. You can bring the
which
changes.
is a madness.
and not
so
drop off too
crazy.
much. Yeah.
So we're going before we go on to the next player, which is obviously Salah. We're going to be talking about now, guys. If you're watching, please like, share, subscribe. FTB Sports. Find us on all various social media, Instagram, Twitter, and like, subscribe. Okay, so before we go on to Salah, I'm going to basically give you roughly what we thinking the United team might be tomorrow, which is going to be obviously Henderson. We reckon Henderson will be playing in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Telles. You're going to have Lindelof and Maguire. You're going to have Scott and Matic. And again, like you guys keep saying about United, the way United play, United's been playing with the two holding midfield every single game. I think the only game I've seen we didn't play was against Fulham. So I am expecting us to play Scott and Matic in that holding role. It's not going to change.
Can I just say something about that really quickly? Right, playing two holding midfielders, that for me is not saying that you're going to be defensive. You can play two holding midfielders and still be quite offensive. Yeah. It's the instructions that you give them. It's
right,
the type
and
of
it's the players
instructions
playing in the position. McTominay's going to play and play sideways, and Matic is going to play and play sideways.
Yeah,
they need. So
it's going to be
they need a forward-thinking player. If Pogba's a forward-thinking player, but he's playing deeper, we must have somebody else in the squad who can do that job. Other than going in there with two to put a bloody wall in front of the back two, it don't make no sense.
But do you know why that is?
If you have a system of play, to me, you find the players who can fit into that system of play. You understand? If we go against you lot tomorrow with two proper, what we classify as two proper holding midfielders, it's going to be a bullshit. And the form that you are in as well, it's going to be a bullshit.
So, Solo United 7, let me just address what you're saying, because I get the impression you're trying to say you've played two holding midfielders, but you've still been progressive in games and you've won games, so it's nothing new. You've played it for a while. But the energy is different against other teams when you play those two holding midfielders. You're more progressive. But against us, their job is sit and spoil. Sit and spoil. Right? So it's what you're asking them to do. We played Alonso and Mascherano for how many seasons under Rafa? But they still got forward. They weren't there camped in front of the defense. They were joining in attacks and creating things. McTominay the other day, you let him off the leash. My man banged 2 goals. 2 goals,
yeah.
You understand? So it's not like they can't play. It's what you're asking them to do. So telling me that you've always played two holders, it's neither here or there. It's the instructions and the energy that you're coming to the game with. If you're coming with the game with two holding midfielders and we're going to sit deep and just part the bus, for me, I don't rate that personally. You lot are free to do what you want to do, innit? For me, as a fan, that's not what I want. That's not what I want to see.
I think as well as what Mr. B said, he doesn't like the parking the bus as well. But I think because Maguire and obviously Lindelof don't have the legs, and if they do start, you will find United sitting. Against Man City, they did it. Against Liverpool, they done it. Against Arsenal, they didn't do it. It was a bit more freedom against Arsenal. But you expect that's going to happen. Okay, guys. So now let's go on to Salah, and let's go to Stoney first. Salah.
Okay.
What is this down? Again, Salah to me, top goal scorer in the Premier League. So you can't take that away from him.
Respect
and,
that.
You know, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, it's almost like I watched him come on against Burnley, and he created a few chances. I watched him against United, and against United, he put in a bit more. He put in more against Burnley than United. I've watched him in a couple of other games, like the Newcastle, and he's almost like, I don't know whether or not it's his form or it's something's going on in his background, because there's rumors about him going off about something to do with captaincy.
Forget about it. No.
And for me,
paper talk.
Thank you. He's human.
Go on.
If it's okay, he's human. He's human like every single other player playing in the Premiership, playing globally. All right. It may be something, as he said, that he's for maybe going. I'm not concerned about that. I think the one positive thing that actually happened for us this season, and you think of it like any other club that's actually won the league, what they've done in that next season, they've probably purchased or introduced different players into the squad that will add another direction, that will inject a bit of energy. So for us, offensively, it was Jota. Jota's not there at the moment, right? When we purchased Jota, we started getting that little extra percentage from our offensive areas. Whether they felt threatened or not, I'm unsure because they're all world class. All right. So we're missing Jota, right? But the subject at the moment we're talking about is Salah. I've got no concern with Salah leaving. I've got no concern with people talking about he's looking for a new contract or that he's looking for captaincy. Let's dispel those and let's move those completely out of the window. Not concerned with none of that. Yeah, he's human. He's human, and his rhythm's off, and it's gonna come back. Not concerned with that.
I don't even think that, mate. I don't even think that. Like, for me, it's a tactical thing, right? Look at when we played against United. You said he looked a bit more like he was creating and being progressive against Burnley, right? But you lot parked the bus severely, right? If you look against Burnley the other day, there was one point I looked in there was 7 bodies, Burnley players in the penalty area, other than the goalkeeper. So that's 8 Burnley players in the penalty area, right? And my man, like, he's good, but there's no space. There's no space. And that's how teams are playing against us right now. And I'm not complaining about it, but let's don't get it twisted. You've got to understand that these things impact. It makes a difference. Like, salary is an enigma. I don't understand. Like, the guy is our top goal scorer on the clock, more than anybody, and our top creator of chances more than anybody. But I guarantee if you spoke to some Liverpool fans today and you said, who would you get rid of out of our forward line? His name is first up. I don't understand what it is.
I don't understand it either. It's crazy.
Don't get me wrong. I love Mane. I love Firmino. But are you going to tell me that you're going to get rid of the guy that just keeps being top goal scorer every season? He's top goal scorer in the league right now, and he ain't scored in 5 games.
Yeah. And people are getting worried. It's crazy. You know what it is? Salah's bench is so high that I believe sometimes people are looking for a fault. There's no fault. Absolutely no fault. There's no concern. The man will deliver. One positive though, right? You see, in terms of like, we just obviously experienced the Burnley game and them obviously defending very deep and us not finding any space. That's why we've got Thiago, because Thiago will be able to find that space. Similar to when we had Coutinho, he'll be able to find that space. His passing range is cute. He's got the vision. He can run with it. He can pass with it. He can distribute left side, right side. So we're fine. As I said,
it's just we require time to bed it in. Like, Thiago's played 2 games. Like, I can see what he's doing already. He's superpower for me. What I'm most excited about is that my man can change the pace of the game.
And that's what we need.
He can get it, he can make a short pass. But then he does this thing where he gets the ball on a half turn and he pings that ball that breaks the line, turns defense to attack in an instant, and changes the whole energy in the attack.
And that's sorry, I do apologize. Finish what you're saying.
No, go on. And for me, that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, because our guys are quick on the transition. We're a direct team. When he gets that pass going and the understanding going with the other guys, it will allow us to break those teams that want to sit back and wait for the opportunity to break on us one time. You understand? So for me, Salah, I'm not concerned about. I don't understand the hype about him. Anything happens, people want to chat. It's, he's greedy, he don't pass, but he's the top assist guy in the team. I don't understand. So how are you greedy when you're creating more chances than anyone else, right? You know, he don't pass. So like he wants to go Real Madrid. He wants to go, like, come on, man. Like, it's I believe this just because we're victims of our success. This is how people have to talk about us now. You understand? So
we're gonna speak quickly now. Obviously, I'm gonna come off top. I'm coming off topic for 2 seconds because you guys are saying about victim of your success. But isn't that something also when it comes to Man United and sort of like a lot of Liverpool fans I know, where the minute, say for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo was in the paper, Pogba is in the paper, straight away, he's leaving, is this, is that, and the other. But again, like you just said, that's victim of success.
Yeah, so, I agree.
Mr. B, with sort of like with the Salah, do you probably, as a United fan, you might say, you know what, you don't care. But do you, like I say, listen, Salah for me is a great player, and he'd get in most team in the world football. Simple as that.
Any team.
But would you sit there and say he's a victim of his success, or would you sit there and think there is more to it? Because you got to remember when he went to Roma, or he left Chelsea to go to Roma, within the first three to 6 months, there was articles going around saying he wants to leave already.
His benchmark is high, in it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. His benchmark is so high. Anything below that, he's having a shit season. He's not having a shit season. Liverpool, the team itself, the levels have probably dropped off slightly, but he's not having a shit season. As that's already been alluded to earlier on, he's the top goal scorer and top assist in the season in the Premiership. So let's not talk nonsense. Yeah. Why all of these rumors are going around now? He's got a contract up for renewal.
Yeah.
This is what you do. This is what comes out all the time. He's not happy. He wants to go to this club. He wants to go to that club. He's going to sign his contract. Liverpool, he wants money, right? It's all part of the negotiation strategy. You know what I mean? So now a man's going to be saying, no, Salah's not playing because, he wants to go to Real Madrid. Salah's not an idiot. Real Madrid can't pay him the money. So what's he going to do? Go to Real Madrid to win probably less trophies for less money. That don't make no sense to me. You know what I mean? He's won the double. He's won the league and the Champions League at Liverpool. Where is he going? He don't want to go nowhere. Unless Liverpool say to him, you're gone, then he ain't going nowhere. It's just a blip, man. Salah's he's just in that look, and he's not even in the run. Liverpool as a football team are in a little slump. So guess what? They're blaming Salah. They're going to blame Firmino. They're going to blame Mane. You know what I mean? Van Dijk got injured. Van Dijk is top draw as a defender. They haven't had him. So, of course, Liverpool are going to struggle, regardless of who you put in that position. 1-2 games, you could have a man who could fill in. But if you've got to go 19 games in the league, plus Champions League, plus what's his name? The Cup, FA Cup. It's a lot of games to play without your big man. So it's not a Salah dip. It's a Liverpool dip. And he's the one who's being singled out.
So last question I'm going to ask the Liverpool guys, Stitches and Stoney now. Salah is what, 28, 29? Say 29, I believe he is. Yeah. If Real Madrid came in the summer and offer you, say, 100 million for him at that age, would you turn it down? Because for me, as a United fan, if we have a player at that age and someone come in and say, yep, right, I'll take the money all day long to rebuild. Because Liverpool as a football club invest the money back into the football club. Me as a United fan, I don't trust the Glazer to invest it.
Yeah, they're going to pocket the money, innit?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Thank you. Yeah. Two completely different clubs, two completely different projects. Do Liverpool need the money? No. If Salah was to go, would we miss him? Yes. Would we have a current replacement? I believe so, in Jota, right? I look at it as a bigger picture, all right? Salah is an employee of Liverpool, okay? All players are replaceable. At some stage, you're going to look for a different project. At some stage, and maybe the individual players looking for a different project, or whether the club's looking for a different project. So your question was, if Real Madrid were to come in for £100 million for Salah, do I believe Liverpool would sell him? I believe the answer would be no. We don't need the money. We don't need the money. It's as simple as that. If Salah was to leave, if Salah was to leave, I don't believe it will be to do with Liverpool. It may be just Salah's just looking for another project. £100 million for Salah? No. There's defenders. There's a club that have bought a defender for £85 million. £100 million in this day and age ain't nothing. So if Real Madrid were to come in for 100 mil, the answer would be no.
Yeah, I'm
It's as
glad you
simple as
touched
that.
on that, bro, because that was the first thing I was about to rip apart. I'm like, are you mad? Like, 100 million, you're moving like Arsenal, 45
Yeah.
million pound on one beat. Are
Listen,
you
I'm
mad?
honest.
Like,
I'm honest
get
saying
off
it because
the
he's got less than a year left on his contract.
get off the skittles, mate. No one's selling Salah for 100 million. Are you
None
mad?
of them.
No, listen, they got
Crazy.
to come better than that. You
Yeah.
at least over 150, 160, and then we might
That's
entertain a
starting.
phone call. That's a starting conversation. Are you mad? Yeah, look, he's in his prime right now. But look,
Yeah.
I'm not silly. I'm not silly. That forward line's been together for a while. Yeah, and Salah's been a big part of it. And there's rumors of us being linked to Mbappe, Haaland, all of these players. And there's a reason why, because part of the reason Klopp signed his new 5-year contract last year was because he's going to be helping with the rebuild.
Yeah.
We have to start thinking beyond these guys now. So he needs to start building the next guys that are going to take up the mantle. I think the Jota signing was part of that because he's young, right? And we can see how he's going to develop. I think on top of that, you're going to have a situation where at some point we do need to think about Salah moving on, right? And if we and FSG are very astute at knowing when that moment is to cash in, right? And if it means that we're going to sell him for 170 and 180 million pounds, and we can reinvest that money in the team in the same way we did to get Van Dijk and Alisson, right? So be it. It will break my heart because I know the value of the player, but if it means that Liverpool's then can sustain a challenge for the next 5-10 years, I'm down. Listen, I support Liverpool FC, not Salah FC, innit?
Yeah,
And Liverpool FC has to do what's best for the club. Simple as that.
Okay, cheers, guys. So, guys, if you're watching, please like, subscribe, share. This is the Manchester United Liverpool FA Cup preview show. Now we're going to go on to a player who not a lot of United fans rate, but I rate him very highly. So, first one, let's do this, Mr. B. Why do you think Matic, he will start tomorrow, I believe, but why do you think he's so underrated at United and the fans are split with him?
He's got no pace. Nowadays, everybody believes players have to be like bullets, run around everywhere. Matic is a Rolls-Royce defensive midfielder, but guess what? He ain't got no legs. So he's reading off the game. I like Matic. He's just old. He plays the best that he can play for a man of his age. So I've got time for Matic. I just wish when he played, wouldn't play a Matic clone beside him. That's all.
Yeah. So on here, quick one. Sorry, guys. Go back to the players. So Michael Balogun here said, no player or manager are bigger than the club. I wish Chelsea would adapt to that now. Obviously, yeah, Chelsea, they're in crisis, aren't they, really? I would always say if that was Ole, everyone would be saying, sack him. Listen, I'm Ole out, so don't worry about it too much. So, yeah, to your point with that, though, when we're talking about, like, Matic, with that Stitches, do you think, because obviously you guys got Thiago right now, and Thiago is doesn't have the pace, but the difference is Thiago is like a world-class player who can spread the ball left, right, and centre, but with no pace. So he's adapted slightly to the Premier League. So why do you think Matic gets so much criticism though as well?
Right. So first of all, big up Mikey B for that comment. Appreciate that. Love all our viewers. Second of all, don't ever you dare talk about Thiago. Are you mad?
I was just about to say that.
Listen, solo stuff. Behave yourself. Don't ever do that again.
Listen, I've got to play a devil advocate here. Come on.
Let's talk about that. Don't talk about man like Thiago, like Alcantara in the same sentence. No, behave. Listen, Matip, he's had a great career. Yeah, I actually rate him. But I have a problem. When you put on that Man United shirt, it makes me uncomfortable. to give you any kind of compliments. But yeah, I think Mr. B hit the nail on the head. Man's done out here, isn't he? His legs are finished. He's coming towards the end of his career. Yeah, and you know, you need to start looking for the next Matic. Like I think you've got in what's his McTominay. I think McTominay is a replacement for Matic. That's how I look at it. But for me, Matic, I think he is Mr. B. If you take take off the heart, like the restraints, let him play, let him get forward. I think he can be, but I think he's fulfilling a specific role, which is why you don't get to see that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you could get better players than McTominay, but what I'm saying is, what you have in your squad right now, if you said to me, who's going to step in and fill that breach that Matic I would say him, yeah? But Matic, for me, yeah, I think all he's got left now is his nous, his smarts. You know, the anticipation, the reading of the game, the clever foul at the right time, high up the pitch.
He's always smart.
That's what he's got to. He ain't got legs. If Thiago gave him that little drop of the shoulder and a wiggle, he's gone down. I mean, I saw Fred. Fred was like, man was like all trying to grab his shirt and all different things to try and keep up with him. He done that to so many guys over the years. They're different caliber of players. You know, Thiago never ever relied on pace in his game anyway. So he's able to do these things, but. Yeah, I think you're doing Matic an injustice if you try and talk about him in the same breath. Please don't do it.
So gone on to Stoney now. Matic, like for me, I think Matic is great. Is 33, coming up 34 years old now, and I always look at him, and when I watch him play, he does the simple things in the game. All he's there for is just break up play. That's all he is. Now, what the guys were saying here now, they were saying obviously Scotty is like a replacement for Matic in that like the United midfield, but like what Stitches just came and alluded to, if we take the shackle off him, he probably can get forward and do a better job. So do you think sort of Matic might be Matic's last hurrah last season?
Okay.
Stoney.
Okay, so in terms of Matic, if he has the ball, then you can play through him. I don't think a player can break up play if they don't have the legs. Matic doesn't have the legs, and that's no disservice to him, okay? I think there's certain players that get to a certain part in the career and they have to wave the flag. And it's not because he's not a good player, okay? Let's think of what happened. I know they're two completely different players, but you have to realize sometimes in your career when you have to move on. It happened with Rio. It happened with Gary Neville. It happened with Jamie Carragher. It gets to a certain part in your career when you say, all right, I'm done out here. What he can do, if you play the ball through Matic, then he can distribute those short little pass balls, yeah? But then other than that, I'm not actually too sure what he actually brings to a team. I'm not actually sure what he brings to Manchester United. If the opposition players are seeing that Matip's on there, then that's gold dust to us. You guys are playing with 10 men if he's on the park. So I'll tell you what, please, Ollie, play in tomorrow. Please, play Lindelof and play Matip tomorrow. Ollie, do the thing. Yeah. and then it's gold dust for us. I think he only serves a point if you're playing through him. And I don't believe Manchester United will be playing through him moving forward. I don't think he offers anything.
So Callisto's gone, sorry.
Yeah, Cholo. I've just seen Cholo's message. Manchester United need a defensive midfield in the same build and skill set of Ndidi. Dynamic, strong technical midfielder who could break down counter-attacks and maintain high tackle numbers. That's bang on. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
Because you don't need two men doing the job. You've got one, and then that frees up the position for somebody else to play. Agreed, Cholo. Well played, mate. Well said.
Yeah, no, respect to that comment. But all I would say to that is, you say Manchester United need a defensive midfielder in the same build as Ndidi. Every team needs one.
Thank you.
Yeah, every team needs one. It ain't just Man United. Yeah. Players like Ndidi, you know what? Yeah. Like you're talking about. Oh, my man that used to be at Leicester's gone to he's gone to Chelsea now.
Kante.
Those kind of players, you need them. You need them.
Yeah. It's right. We have that player. We have it in Fabinho. It's just that he's having to play the defensive line at the moment. So we have him and we're blessed.
And this is what I'm alluding to the other day, right? The injuries we've had at centre back, they don't just affect us defensively. they affect us in the middle of the park because
Thank you.
you've lost Fabinho out of that midfield now.
Yeah,
you get me?
yeah.
You understand? Like, so it is what it is. And I see the other comment Chulo made about you need to play. Mikey B also said, you need to play a dynamic midfielder and stuff. That comment's still to come, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing it. Yeah. Like, you need to play a dynamic midfielder next to Matic. So, but for me, Matic's not creative enough for you to warrant that.
No.
It's not.
So again,
if you've got a man like someone like Pirlo, right? You've got a man of that quality in terms of creativity. Then you can play energetic. You can play an energetic midfielder and say that's calm. But you can't tell me you're going to play an energetic midfielder and then put Matic there to be your Pirlo. He ain't doing that. So
it don't make no sense.
Calista said again, if you want to facilitate two players more forward, think in midfield, you need a player to protect the back line up and down the pitch.
So just to point to that, our midfield, without Fabinho right now, everyone's got that responsibility. Yeah. You understand? It's an understanding between the midfield. If two, we play three in midfield, right? If two go, one sits. Yeah, one sits. There's always one sitting. So I don't think you need to be, it doesn't necessarily, it just has to be that understanding of who goes, who sits and who covers, right? And we play with progressive wing backs, right? Which is why we play with three, right? Because when our wing backs get caught out, one of the three goes out.
Yeah, goes left or goes right. Yeah.
And that was, you're right. And that was usually Henderson. But with Henderson not being able to play, you're right. That then almost breaks down the whole functionality of the whole team. So you're right, it has an impact, a knock-on.
Right, rival fans want to say we're crying and rare tear and this, that, and the other, but the facts are the facts, you know what I mean? Just because you say we're crying doesn't change the fact that these injuries have had an impact. When have we been able to play the team that you saw running amok in the league last season? We haven't been able to because we've had these injuries that's impacted us. I know, and you're loving it. And I loved it last season when you guys were all popping down. It was brilliant. You know what I mean? So it was the nature of the beast. But whether you think as champions we should be able to be putting up a bigger fight to defend our title or not, the facts remain the facts.
You've lost a lot of players.
There has to be an impact. There has to be an impact.
The players that you have lost have made a massive, massive difference to the points level that you would be on and the level of football that you're playing. But whatever it takes to level up the league, I will take him because last season was an embarrassment points-wise. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. If it makes it close, guess what? In the history books in 5 years, it's not going to say you had Van Dijk out, hashtag Van Dijk was out for the whole season. It's going to have Liverpool in whoever, win the league, whoever won the league. And that's my point. During it, everybody's, you've watch, man, come the end of the season, you think I care? Bruv, if they bun down Beer Stadium and man got corona and can't play, and we win the league by default, blood, I'm celebrating it like we clap up, man, with 190 points.
God forbid.
You know what I mean? It don't make no difference. You know what I mean? A win is a win.
No, I get that. I get that. Sorry, just to say one more thing. I fully get what you're saying, Mr. B. I fully get it, right? But here's the thing, and I'm speaking to Liverpool fans when I say this, don't jump on the hype bus. Don't do the media thing and start getting all feeling all negative, right? Yes, Mr. B's right. At the end of the season, it's gonna be what it is. Like the result, nobody's gonna care about these details. But as a fan or a supporter, you have to care about this. You don't start turning out FSG out now all of a sudden.
I know, it's crazy.
We didn't buy a centre back or saying our Klopp's lost the plot. Come on, man, don't buy into the hype because look at what he's working with. Look at what he's working with. I'm actually shocked that we're where we are currently because when Van Dijk popped down, the story everywhere was, Liverpool are done. Liverpool are done. At one point, we were top of the league. Do you know what I'm saying? In that period. So as fans, we have to take that balance. Obviously, it's the job of rival fans and the media to create hype around situations. But I think as a fan base, you've got to be a bit smarter than that. This is an Arsenal TV business. We're not out here, you know what I mean, losing our shit and throwing our toys at the pram. Like, come on, man, you know how the thing is set. You know what the play is like. Don't get it twisted. And yes, it's negative. No one likes to see their team not picking up points or or whatever. But you got to balance that with understanding the scenario right now and the wider picture. Like, come on, be a bit cleverer.
Yeah.
Before I read out Michael's next question, basically Arsenal lost 1-0 to Southampton.
Yeah, FA Cup, sorry.
FA Cup, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. So Michael, again, I'd rather have Matic, very good player, but his best days are behind him. If you want to keep him, you have to play him next to a dominant midfield player, which someone who can do the running, which is true. And like, as a United fan, I think I've said it earlier as well, where United, when you play sort of like Maguire, Lindelof, you always have to play almost two people there to basically make up the pace.
Yeah, but this is what I was talking about. Solo 7, the fact that yes, if Matic was better creatively, I would understand why you would do that, but he's not. So he's not Pirlo. So for me, it's a waste of a position for you to have someone, say like you had Ndidi in there, and then you put Matic in there. Ndidi would do his job, but Matic wasn't going to offer you nothing. Right? You're better off putting someone like Ndidi in there with Fernandes or Pogba. You know what I'm saying? That can work. Bro. That can work.
Yes, exactly. You don't need somebody with Matic to get the best out of Matic. Matic is done out here now. You understand? We need, you're right, Stitches. Agreed. You need a Matic with legs to play in that position, and then you get somebody to play beside him.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and wash myself after this though. A Man United fan agreed with me.
So guys, if you're watching, please like, subscribe, share FTB Sports. Find us on all different social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. FTB Sports. So let's go now to Thiago. Now, I watched a United game, and to be honest with you, like what you said, Stitches there, he did do a few things where I thought, oh, ouch, okay. But great player as he is, I used to have it, and I think Mr. B, you might find it as well. When we used to play Paul Scholes, we used to always get told Paul Scholes is too slow, he can't do this, he can't do that. Now, that's what I got told by Liverpool fans. Now, Liverpool has got Thiago, who is not fast, no pace, nothing. World-class player, let's put it there. But I now think, personally, he slowed down the pace of Liverpool. Mr. Stoney, talk to me, please.
Okay, thank you. So, when we actually purchased Thiago, I had a conversation with Mr. B, and I was asked the same question. What do I think about Thiago? And I think I see the acquisition of Thiago similarly to what it was when we had Xabi Alonso. And just bear with me for this. I'm going to extend on this, all right? Yeah. Any player that Liverpool usually purchase, ain't jumping, I'm not getting gassed. Let them settle in. And then I think you can have a clearer assessment and be able to reflect on how they've integrated within our squad, okay? So going back to what I was saying before, Mr. B, I was unsure when he first purchased, and I said, I ain't going to comment. Let's just see. I am happy with the acquisition of Thiago in our club, in our midfield. He offers something completely different. And I mentioned it before with Coutinho. What he does is, he may not have that drive, but what he does have is the vision. He can slip back down in between our centre backs and still distribute the ball. Left foot, right foot, short, far. Any player that wants the ball, Thiago's actually getting there, okay? If we go back to the Burnley game, and as an example, we didn't get the result, but look at the rhythm that he was able to create. Forget about the age. The man's got the experience. He's seen it. He's done it. He's wearing the T-shirts. He can play out there with with a Cuban cigar or a pipe or with snuff on the back of his hand if he wants to. He's there. So I do like him. And I appreciate that he's actually in there. It brings us something completely different in the midfield. So I'm happy he's there.
So
I would also like for him to play tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant. So Stitches, with that, obviously, I know you're a big advocate of him and you love him as a player. But again, I don't know why it is. He's a great. I just believe for Liverpool, the way the rhythm Liverpool normally play, he almost slow down the front three players. And is it now where we go back to Fabinho, and where I would say he normally connects the dots at the top. Is it now where it's almost like Fabinho is not there now to do it, so you rely more on Thiago, and that's why Liverpool's not really scoring the goals?
Listen, right? Thiago could do whatever he wants in that midfield. He could play the 10, he could play offensively, he could play the holding role. I think they say class is permanent, isn't it? Like, he's never ever relied on his pace. That's not been his game. Do you understand? Like, when you get players of that caliber, right, they automatically they level up your team. Do you understand? But let's not get it twisted. My man got injured after his first appearance from a disgusting tackle against Everton. He's played like 3 games in a team that's not settled, right? In a team where it's not our first team. It's not like he's playing with Fabinho holding and he could just do his thing. It's not like, you know what I mean, like the Van Dijk's there and Matip are there behind him, so he could be a bit more progressive. We're not playing our proper team. It's makeshift right now. So for people to look at him and judge him after 3 performances, I think they're smoking Skittles. Like, I saw the report from John Barnes. I saw the Talk Sport thing, and I'm hearing what you're saying. And no offense, bruv, I'm just thinking, do these people actually understand football? Like, do you understand football? Like, or are you saying what you're saying just for headlines and clicks and likes? Like, because if you're someone who fully understands the game, you wouldn't be making them comments. You would not be making them comments. Like, come on, man. Like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me to even hear this kind of chat. But you know what it is? It's the world we live in. And again, as I say to the fan base, just be a bit smarter. Be a bit smarter. Like, see it for what it is. See it for what it is. Thiago, you're blaming Thiago for the fact that we're not scoring goals, but you're not looking at the fact that everyone we play plays 10 players in the penalty area. Like, you could be the greatest player in the world, right? But trying to, and he's created chances. You understand? In them situations, we've still created. So slowing down of the game. The slowing down of the game is the fact that as soon as teams lose the ball, they got, you know, those players setting defensively, and that just makes it difficult. The other thing I've noticed as well is one of our strengths is turning over the ball in the opposition half and turning attack into defense into attack. But I've noticed now that this season, watch it. If you haven't noticed this, watch it. Teams won't try and play out against us no more. They'll play the long ball and they'll try to win the second ball. They'll try to win the second ball and pick up the pieces. That's what they're trying to do now. They're like Bundat trying to like play through them. We can't compete with them on that level. So here's what we do. As soon as you get it, just lump it and just have a nuisance centre forward that's just going to make a nuisance of themselves. And again, I'm not crying, but referees are letting people get away with a lot against us, which if we did the other way, we don't get away with. So like the other night, my man was roughing up all our centre backs. Like even if he weren't trying to win a header, you'll see him coming in, jumping into the man. Like it's all part of the game. Yeah, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. I'm not like I'm saying, but this is what it is. You know what I mean? So don't turn around and say Thiago when there's all these other factors to be considered, and you're being lazy as a journalist if that's what you're coming out with. And I will question your intelligence because I'm just kind of like, do you get football? Are you dumb? Like, come on, behave.
So quick one before we. Sorry, before I go on to you.
Go on.
So I'm just reading some questions and I'm going to come back to you. So Silver Fox is basically saying, I honestly think this would be a game for either team to lose because obviously with the fixture pile up, no one really care about it.
100%. That's how I feel. No word of a lie. If it wasn't for Man United, I wouldn't care about this game. That's just me. I know other Liverpool fans are different. It's just the fact that it's you lot, isn't it? Like, I can't lose to you lot. Like that. No, I can't lose to you lot. But otherwise, I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care. Play the youngsters.
Yeah, Little White Lane is saying, as a fan, my money's on Liverpool.
You're gonna lose it.
Michael again, I'm confused. People are questioning Thiago. He's the boss. I'd like him at Chelsea. Well, you got the other Thiago at centre back, though, don't you?
Exactly. You have got a Thiago.
you got the wrong Thiago.
Yeah, don't get greedy, Mr. D, man.
Yeah, the wrong Thiago.
Let's have one Thiago. Then.
Yeah. So Mr. B, now going to
Yeah.
you with this whole Thiago thing. Like I said, I think he's a great player. I've been watching him for like years now at sort of Bayern Munich and stuff like that. Again, I'm going to spin my journalism into it, but I know obviously Stitches and Stoney don't agree with it at the moment. But do you sort of believe now? Okay, so he's come. Obviously, we know he's like world-class player and things like that. But do you believe a lot of Liverpool fans are too hyped about him? Now, say for instance, United get a player, because I'm talking as a Man United, Liverpool sort of watch along sort of thing. Now we're discussing. So I'm only talking about United, Liverpool. When we got Bruno Fernandes, a lot of Liverpool fans I know, oh, he's overhyped, he's this, he's that. But is it okay for Liverpool fans now to get Thiago, who's a great player, yes, we know, to be as gassed, but United fans not allowed to do the same thing?
Listen, when it's your own team, you're going to get gassed in it. But I try to look at footballers. Thiago might not have pace, but if you can lick a ball 4 miles and lick an ant in the top of his head with it, you're a baller. And that's what he can do. Football isn't always, man's obsessed with pace. Football's in the brain. Look at Teddy Sheringham. Teddy Sheringham used to run in reverse, bruv. But his brain was 10 steps ahead of everybody else. So he was already in the position. It's not about pace. Thiago is class. Thiago is top class. As I said, I spoke to Stoney before the season and he's alluded to it there. He wasn't having Thiago. As in, he's not getting hyped about him until he sees what he can do on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Thiago's class. Thiago is class.
And the thing is, sorry, Mr. B, we've had players at Liverpool that, if we're just talking about the pace situation, we've had players at Liverpool over the years who haven't had pace and they've been there. Are we forgotten about Gary McAllister? Are we talking about Yari Littleman? We've had them at our clubs. They haven't had pace and they've been beautiful. Oh, well, there we go. If you've been going further back, Yal Mulby.
As I said, it's not about pace.
Yeah.
We're
so
fine.
let's go through some of these and then we're going to go on to our last one in a minute. So our last one's going to be fun. So Sam for Life is saying basically it depends on what both teams playing out. The result could go either way depending on what team we put out, basically.
Fair enough.
Then you've got Mr. Charles, welcome. Let me take that off for a second. You understand what Barnes is saying. Thiago isn't quite the step quite for the front three, but it's going to take time. You also need a centre back.
Sorry, Charles, nonsense. Right, first of all, nonsense. Like, he's not quite in step. He's played 3 games. Relax, bro. Like, calm down. Like, the team's not in step with the team right now. Like, why are you making it down to Thiago? The team's not in step with itself right now. Like, I don't get it. It's like, come on, like calm down, everybody. Like, give him some time. Let's get our proper team back. Let him play in that proper team and then talk to me about Thiago. I fully expect you all to eat your words. And as for us needing a centre back, we needed a centre back from when my man got popped down by Everton, Verge, right? Yeah. But what people need to realise is it's unprecedented for you to have 3 centre backs out at the same time. It's unprecedented. Crazy. So what are we going to do? Just every time we get an injury, go out and buy a player? What's going to happen when the players come back? So what are you going to do then? You're going to have an abundance of players. How does that look to the young players that are looking to come through and get opportunities? They're like, rah, we didn't even get any chances. They just went out and bought someone else. How are we going to sign new youngsters when they can see that it's not really that time when you're going to get opportunities? Come on, this is what I say about thinking about it a little bit deeply. Like, money is not the only answer, first point. Second point, we've never been a team where we've tried to use money to solve our issues, which is why Klopp is so perfect for us, because his philosophy is the same. I'm going to try and solve the problem on a training field before I talk about spending money. Also, we're doing transfer plans, not for today. We're doing them 2 seasons in advance. Our target's already set. So if we have a mishap, it's not a case that we're going to panic buy like we used to do back in the day and end up with man like Benteke and Balotelli. You know
Benosaurus Rex, don't be having a go at him.
We're not moving like that no more. We're not moving like that no more. We're in a new era now. So fans need to understand that. Like, it's like You know, back in the day, we used to buy DVD players. They played certain regions in it, right?
Yeah.
If you bought a DVD player that played a region, right, and then you get home and you try and play a different region in it, of course you're going to be upset. Like, why are you getting upset when our club is moving the way it's moved? It's moved that way for like 5 seasons. Like, and you're still not getting it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, this is why other Liverpool fans get at me. They don't like the way that I talk because they're like, oh, I'm just like, the program is set. Like, we're not changing our game. Like, why are you calling? We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
So Adam has said basically, obviously, he thinks United care more about the Klopp than Klopp does. Klopp never really care about it.
I'd agree.
Charles Thiago's won everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Great. Then Sam for life. Unfortunately, the game has moved on, and pace is pretty much a given.
I don't think that's true.
Then you got Mo. He will have Thiago at Arsenal.
It's never going to happen. The only way that Thiago is going to be at Arsenal is if you put him in the edit in FIFA 21 or edit in Football Manager. That's the only way that Thiago is going to be at Arsenal.
Hey, listen. You know what though, Mohammed? If you guys can get this Odegaard, right, and he can step up, you got a player there. There. He can probably. Yeah, it depends how he acclimatizes to the Premier League because my man's been a bad boy since he was 15 years old. And we tried to sign him, but he chose to go to Real Madrid instead. I followed his career. He's a baller, but he just hasn't played much first team football at the highest level. So if they can get him and he fulfills his potential at Arsenal,
it's only for 6 months though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's all they need for right now.
Yeah.
Like, and then you could talk about it in the summer.
That would be interesting though, because he plays the, and I know we just jumped on the Arsenal thing because it was just that one player, but he play the same position as that role.
Roll Smith.
Yeah, he plays the same position as Roll Smith, innit?
Yeah,
so that'll be interesting.
He can play. He can play any position in midfield. He can play any of the attacking positions in midfield, or he can play as a box-to-box player. He's versatile. He's versatile. So they could use him in many different ways.
Yeah, bring him in. I just want to see all of the best players in the Premiership, even if they're not at Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool should be first, but not all of the players can be able to come to Liverpool. So if it means that we're seeing a young player come into Premiership and he's going to be class, let us see him.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing him because I followed. He's had so much potential. This guy was a baller when he was 15. So I'm interested to see how he's gonna acclimatize.
Okay, so we've got Silver again saying Thiago is a top player. It's been a very difficult transition for him. You considering missing a few games and midfield player who he would be playing alongside him and playing centre back. Which we're talking about Fabinho, and we're talking about obviously Henderson playing at centre back. Then we got on here Sam for life is saying, so you should Klopp take responsibility for not giving the young defender a chance rather than playing midfield at the back? Now I'm going to say something what Sam's saying here now, so I'm going to be controversial and I might agree with Sam a little bit here, because I remember one season under Sir Alex Ferguson we had some like 3 key injury at centre back. And he went out, and I think it was John O'Shea he brought in. I can't remember the other guy. He's playing for Middlesbrough at the moment, and he played them for about 3 or 4 games at centre back.
Right. So let me respond to that firstly. How many years ago were you talking about? That was when we're talking about Yeah, so you could lose about 10 games or draw about 10 games, and no one's looking to take your job. We're not on that vibe right now. You've got to turn things around quickly. So that's the first thing. There's those pressures. We've drawn and lost games in our last 5 games, and look at how the fan base is reacting already, right? Do you think Klopp can afford to play Phillips or Williams together consistently against the teams that we're coming up against in the run that we had? You must be mad. You must be mad. Listen,
that's all.
From the player's perspective, do you think it's fair to drop a man like Reece Williams, who's played 3 first-team games, or someone like Phillips, who's on his way out of the squad? You think it's fair to drop them in consistently for that period of time and not have some experience next to them? Young players get to shine when they get to play alongside the big boys. someone who could talk them through a game, someone who could guide them. That's when you can use them. We haven't had that opportunity. So, yes, Klopp has to take responsibility because he's the one making the selections. But you fully have to understand why he's making those decisions. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, have a balance to your thinking. There's like trolling and making comments and banter. I get that, right? But if we're going to talk real talk, understand the play. Like, you're not going to throw inexperienced youngsters in against Rashford, Cavani, and flipping Martial. You'd be looking to get smashed.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And you're right, and that's what I think people are going to want. Do we have young defenders at our club? Yes, we have academy players that are built for the future, and the plan that we're doing is correct. I think we bought, didn't we buy Setberg a couple of seasons back from a Dutch team? Yeah. So he was actually playing regularly there, but what he's come into our club. And he is aware that he's going to be developed for part of the future. I'm with you on this, Stitches. We've got young players. We've got young defenders. We're not throwing them into the fire to be messing up their long-term development for a short-term gain. It don't make sense. There is a bigger picture here at Liverpool, and the development that we're actually doing with our players is correct. I mean, we've still got Hoover can play centre-back or right-back. There's no rush.
We let him go.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at in terms of young players that we've actually got there, that we don't need to be rushed in, bleeding in straight away in the first team. If they come in and they're part of the bench or they're training with the first team, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. There's no rush.
So, last one, Mo, about Thiago. Ha, ha, ha. So what's this now? So let's go to this one, and then we're moving on to the next one. So are the youngsters not good enough to play under pressure now? So
it's incredible. It's incredible. No, it's incredible pressure. It is. So it's dumb to be thinking that you can get two young centre backs to play together game after game in the Premier League. It's not like that. Even in best circumstances, you bleed them in gently, innit? You bring them in a cup game next to an experienced player so that they learn. You don't just throw them in out of desperation. Like, that don't make no sense. I don't know. Tell me one club that's done that in modern times. That's just gone, right, you know what? We got injuries. Let's just throw all the youngsters in and do that thing. You can't do that. You're destroying them mentally, the impact it's going to have on the players.
There was a version of that in 1992. It just wasn't down to injury, but a whole load of youngsters got thrown in.
But this is like you said, 1992. This is 2020.
Football's changed, isn't it?
Like, it's not that game now. It's not that game now.
Okay, there you go. Arsenal.
And where?
Tell me what? No, wait. Sam Spurs, Arsenal. Arsenal when? When did Arsenal play two young centre backs back to back for 5 games or consistently because of injury? They never did.
How long it takes for this answer to come in?
Yeah, they never did. When? Tell me when they did that. And also, bear in mind, you're talking centre back, right? You're not talking right wing or up front where you can kind of, you could kind of do that. I think more than you can do in such a critical position. At centre back. Are you mad? You can't do that. I know you'd love to see it. You'd love to see it, innit? Like, you want us to do that against you next week, Sam, Spurs for life. I know that's what you'd like to see. So that Kane can be a flat track bully and score goals, and Son can get 10. Yeah, that's what you want to see. Now that happens.
Okay, guys. So now let's move on to the last one, and it's we're going to get prediction on our scores afterwards. The next one is going to be Paul Pogba. So, guys, if you're watching, please like, subscribe, share, comment, please, and we'll get back to you. So now let's talk to Mr. B. We spoke about this on our preview show, on our reaction show the other day, about obviously Pogba come under so much scrutiny, and it's like a mixed bag between fans and obviously the media constantly having a go at him. Now, for you, do you believe the hype and the rumours that surrounding Paul Pogba and obviously him don't want to play for United?
Yeah, it's not hype and it's not rumours. He's cunt of a guy. Sorry for the language. Raiola. He's not going to say something that his client does not want him to say. He is paid by Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United. So it's not rumours. It's not a myth. He wants to leave. You know, it is what it is. Enjoy the time that he's here. Like everything moves on. You know what I mean? Your girlfriends. You know what I mean? The only thing that stays is your love for your football club. So these players come in, they rent a place in your position, in your heart. And when they go, don't hate them when they pee off. You know what I mean? Let them go, all right, barman like Sanchez, or you have to hate. You know, but he's gonna go, he's coming and he will do what he needs to do before he leaves.
Yeah. So now let's go for who should I go? Let's start with you now, Stitches. So let's Paul Pogba again. He's a World Cup winner. I honestly believe I'm a Paul Pogba guy, and I like Paul Pogba. I know obviously his agent and a lot of people against him. Fan base is split about him. Yeah. But could this Paul Pogba get in this Liverpool team?
My tongue's about to burn in terms of what I want to say, yeah. Because quite simply, let's be real, Pogba's a G. Pogba's a G for his ability wise and what he can do. I think he's a baller. But this is the thing: footballers are not robots. Yeah, your yin and yang must align. I keep saying it: yin and yang must align in order for you to perform, right? And Paul Pogba was unhappy. So when you're unhappy, you're not going to perform at your best. Simple as that, right? So I know Graham Souness and other people like to give him stick and all of this and talk about Paul Pogba and rare tear, but I think he's a baller. I think under another manager or the right manager, my man is definitely world class. If you gave Paul Pogba to Klopp, yeah, I think Klopp would do a madness with him. I think he would. Would he get in our team right now? I'd have to say no. Not because he's not got the quality to, but because we play a certain way. And I don't know. I haven't seen Paul Pogba play that way. So I'm not certain if he would be able to, right? Given a preseason, given time, potentially, Klopp could work with it. But everyone in our team has a function. You understand? They've got a function. And can Pogba fill that function? That's the question mark. So to say, would he get in our team right now? The answer is no. But with some work, I think he could. I think he could get in our team. And I actually think he would be good because, you know what I mean? I think he's a quality player. I just think that his time at United's done. I think he don't want to be there no more. You know what I mean? When my man looks up and he pings a pass and then he gets a pass back and he looks and it's Fred. And he looks around the other shoulder and it's McTominay. And my man's sitting there thinking, boy, I used to play with man like Pirlo. You understand? Like, I used to play with big boys out here. When I play for France, I got Matuidi right there. You know what I mean? I got Mbappe. I'm playing through balls to Mbappe. And all of these players are not. And then I'm at United with McTominay and Fred. Nah, that's what the problem is.
So I can't even. I want to say something to Stitches about cussing Fred and McTominay in it. But you just got to shut your mouth and just accept that somebody's talking sense. It burns my heart, man.
Listen, if you're Brazilian and you've got an English name, yeah, you're not rated. You're not rated, yeah. Man like Fred.
I know. Okay, so man like Fred. So if anyone ever watched Shakhtar Donetsk before he came to United and watch him, actually physical watch, not video clips, watch him. I honestly believe he's not been played in the right position where he can play, because right now you think at United, yeah, he's a box-to-box player. He's not a defensive midfield player. He's a box-to-box player, but he doesn't get the license to go because with him, he has to sit, so he doesn't go forward. You bring in, like we're just saying about obviously Pogba, and you put in Pogba with him, and then get a decent defensive midfield player who can do the legwork. I'm thinking Fred would be a better player.
Yeah, that might be the case, but it wouldn't be my selection.
Nah,
yeah, not mine either.
It wouldn't be my selection,
so
man.
I'm a Fred guy, So
yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that.
With it, you got on it here. Sam for life. Didn't Pogba want work? Okay, with that as well, it's the same thing with it. And I know Mr. B, you obviously don't really rate him that much, but like what Stitcher says, when you have certain players, caliber players playing around, and I've always said it, when Pogba plays and you look around your shoulders and you see Lingard, you be like, what the hell? What did I
you
sign
ain't
up for this?
to him.
Yeah, that's
You
that's
know,
a hard one.
When
Yeah,
you look at Scott again, don't get me wrong, I think he's something for the future. I reckon he'll be not as good as Darren Fletcher, but he'll be roughly about there when he age. But again, you're
So
looking
is that-
around as Pogba and going, oh, sorry, who are you?
Yeah.
You know, it's
You know
not
the thing is-
fulfilling.
It's
Yeah,
not an
you're-
accident. It's not. Sorry, bro.
yeah.
It's not an accident that now you got a man like Fernandez in there who I know we touched
And
on
Cavani,
earlier on.
blood.
Yeah.
Don't
Fernandez
forget
is a
about
bad man. Like
Yeah, he
I
is.
was,
Don't forget
I
about
was
Cavani.
pissed. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
pissed when you lot got Fernandez. Proper pissed because we were linked with him, and I thought to myself, that's the exact kind of player we need. Man like the Portuguese Gerrard. Like, come on. Like, I was like, how are we letting him go to United? How are we
And
letting him
you
go?
know,
The fact that you've got him in there now,
yeah,
look what's happened with Pogba in the last few games. Like since he's been playing with
he's
Fernandez,
9 games.
and
9 games.
he's upped his game
Yeah,
because he's
9
got
games.
quality around him. And you mentioned Cavani, absolutely. Cavani's world class. He might be old, but he's the movement, the intelligence, like the runs he's gonna make. If Pogba plays a through ball now, it ain't going through to Lingard, is it? It's going through to man like Cavani. He's done it on the world stage. He just looks different. It looks different straight away. Like he actually wants to go training now. He's like, I'm training with some bad mans out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, you got this is the quality. This is when you bring quality in around quality, you see quality in it.
But I think what it is with the Glazer as well, when we signed Pogba, the rumours was we're after all these world-class players, and that was part of the deal. Now, again, it's the same thing with it now. If you look at it, and I'm going to hit you, Stoney, with this now. If you, as a player, Pogba, you're promised all these sort of like players that's going to come and play for Man United, and then you're there looking around you and thinking, Jesus Christ, I've got to carry these guys, yeah? Because technically speaking, he's carrying them. Would you think the reason why his game has been downgraded is because of the players that we had, and all of a sudden now, like what Thingy said, Stitches has said now, is you got Cavani in the team now, you got Bruno in the team now. In his last 9 games, basically, it's almost like he's taking the reign away from Bruno Fernandes now.
You see, it's a hard one, right? And there's so many strings to the bow. There's so many answers to the question that you actually put in there. Originally, I think the project that Pogba was sold didn't materialize at Man United. So maybe he may have become a little bit disheartened there. But what it also come back to, I think sometimes it comes back to accountability. So check this. Pogba's always been a class player. I like Pogba. It's as simple as that. And anybody throughout the time who was bunning Pogba, I wasn't agreeing with them. He did unfortunately go through a few games when Jose was there, where even the simple 5 yards pass, Pogba weren't doing it. So then I think what he was doing, he was opening up the window for people to actually question him. What I was hoping Pogba would have done is did what Bruno did, right? When Bruno came in, I know they're 2 completely different players. When Bruno came into Man United, he came in and said, I'm the guy. And I don't care who else is here. I'm going to be running every single game. That's what Pogba should have been doing when he came at Man United. But because he didn't do it consistently, he made other people out there question how good he actually was. And as a Liverpool supporter and who's somebody who likes Pogba, I didn't really like that. I like Pogba and I like Bruno. So Pogba, what he should have been doing is he said the project Man United sold to him was fabricated. They brought him in and said you're going to have X, Y, Z, and they didn't even give him an L. They gave him nothing.
Him like a road man.
Yeah,
But one
they
thing,
did.
yeah,
They
one
did,
thing I will say, Stoney.
But Bruno came in and the project was kind of similar, but Bruno stood up and he carried the weight. So it's kind of hard. Both of them are exceptional players.
Stoney,
I like Pogba.
Stoney, what I would say though is this: Pogba was already playing at elite level with badmans.
Fair enough.
Bruno was
Fair
playing in some Portuguese dead team. Do you understand?
That's
Yeah,
fair
they're
enough.
top team for Portugal, but top team, who was in there with him? You
True.
understand? So it's easy for him to come in and say, I'm the guy when you're looking at Fred and McTominay and just doing your thing. It's an easier thing. And also, the media kind of leaning. I mean, we don't want to get into any politics here, but the media leaning in the way they're going to report on Fernandes. Fernandes could trip up, the ball bounce off his left toe and go in the top corner, and they'll be like, "Wow, consummate skill! Did you see that?" It's like the benchmark for Pogba to get credit was already high. It was already high. So they were waiting for him to fail already. You understand? Whereas with Fernandes, he was getting the love before he'd even kicked a ball.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and the expectation was less.
Yeah. I mean, Man United at the moment, you guys are in a good position where you've got Fernandes and Pogba, both class players. In my eyes, they're both class. Unfortunately, it seems like Pogba will be moving on, maybe to do with his agent, or maybe because there's another project somewhere else. But they're both good players.
So, Mr. B, quick one. I've got some questions here. Well, I'll ask you one question. So, these guys are saying about the media and how the media react to Paul Pogba. When Pogba, I'll say, under Jose Mourinho, I bought into the training ground bus stop with him. It's not until I listened to what Jose Mourinho said on Sky Sport regarding the bus stop. It was almost premeditated. So you knew what was going to happen in the bus stop. So it's almost like Jose played it to the camera. He played the whole bus stop to the camera.
That's what he does.
Pogba was a scapegoat. So all fans then became divided with him.
I was never divided, bro. Never divided. I don't see the media there to hype things. That's what they do. They're there to sell newspapers and make something small into something big. That's what the media do. And fans have to be smart enough to understand that. You know, rival fans are going to use it, but we got to be smart enough to understand it, respective of whatever team you support. When I saw that, I just it's Jose. That's Jose, isn't it?
Jose Gaines.
It's Jose.
And then what's happened now with that same situation? What happened the other day with Gareth Bale? All of a sudden, a microphone has picked up Jose saying to him, "Do you want to stay here or do you want to play no football at Real Madrid?" That's Jose's style. That's what he does, isn't it? That's what he does. He acts like he doesn't. He controls everything that happens at that ground. If he didn't want microphones on, there would be no micro. That is what Jose does. So he split the fan base on Pogba, but Pogba has split the fan base as well himself with the comments that he's made, or the comments that his agent has made. But again, those are Pogba's words. You know, people are saying, "Oh, his agent, Pogba pays the man money." Do you think if I'm paying a man money, he's going to tell people something that I don't want him to say?
Yeah.
He said what was in Pogba's heart.
Yeah. Listen, so the nearest thing that I can put to this from a Liverpool perspective is Raheem Sterling. When Raheem Sterling left us, at that point, man's looking around, he's thinking Gerrard's gone, Alonso's gone, Torres is gone. All these ballers that I came into this team with, they're gone. And where's this team going? And then man's getting shouted at by Brendan Rodgers, getting buoyed up in training. It's like, come on. And then Rodgers is going into an interview talking about, we've given the boy a good contract, talking about his contract talk on in the media. That's no, you're disrespecting the team. Like, why am I going to sign a new contract and then the fans turned against him? You turn the fans against me, and you think I'm now going to stay here? Like, I fully understand why Raheem Sterling left us. And it was a disrespect, and it's a similar thing. And let's just say, with people of a certain complexion, when the media has an opportunity to stick the knife in, it's Christmas for them. It's Christmas.
And twisted,
You know what I'm saying?
So Adam Morrison says, has Ole improved United then?
Let me take this first, please. Let me take this first, please. Now, I'll try and keep it short. In a word, no, he hasn't, right? Let's look at your squad, yeah? If you look at the league and look at your squad, you should be here. You should be in the top 4 with the players you've got. So all he's done is got you to where you should be, right? So for me, you give a manager ratings when he achieves something beyond the capabilities of what that squad is. I'm going to talk about Klopp. Klopp inherited doo-doo. He polished the turds and shined them up nice, right? He added some quality to the squad, and now he's made those players that level. Man United were already good. You already had man like Rashford. You already had man like Pogba and all of these players. You had decent players. Yes, you needed to add to it, but you've got 2 squads of players. You could play 2 squads. Like, how many players are like, you talk about, man? Like, what's the guy we talked about, centre back, brought under Ferguson, but he never plays these days. Phil Jones.
Not Phil Jones.
Did Phil Jones not win a title?
Yeah. Oh, come on,
did
man.
Phil Jones not win a title? Did he not? No. Wait.
Please don't.
Did he not? No, but he was part of that squad. He was part of that squad. So
it doesn't matter.
Don't try and come at me. You lot, the amount of money you spent on your squad, you should be
on waste of space.
Well, you should be where you are. You can't tell me that there are many better players than Rashford, Martial, Cavani, Fernandes, Pogba. You've got flipping one of the best keepers in the world when he can be bothered. You've got a centre back that you paid 90 million for. I don't rate him, or however much you paid for. You got that big man there. You've got ballers. You've got ballers, isn't it? So you should be where you are. So Ole for me is only getting the team to play how the team. I don't even think it's Ole. I think the players are just decided. You know what? We've been shit for long enough. Let's actually play some football in it.
Did you want to add anything?
Sorry, I think whether it's by accident or design, he has now found a formation that he wants to stick with. 4-2-3-1 is what we play. Whether it goes to 4-3-3 in game or 4-5-1 out of game, 4-2-3-1 is what we play. And as Stitches was saying, it depends on the players you play in certain positions on the pitch to make the puzzle work. And right now the puzzle's working. Right now he's found the missing pieces, whatever it was. And confidence in football, people underestimate confidence in football. Confidence is ridiculous, because we could have had that same team playing last season. We never had no confidence. This season we've gone unbeaten away from home. You don't think them man they
haven't lost a game away from home.
Want to go to away grounds. They want to play away from home. They want to go down to see, can we do it again? You know what I mean? Confidence is crazy. Right now, Liverpool's confidence is very, very low, and ours is very, very high. So we need to take advantage of that, because when Van Dijk comes back next season, you don't think Liverpool's going to be in for retribution, blood?
Yeah.
You think Villa's going to do something? Listen, the next time Villa play Liverpool at Fee with Van Dijk playing, I
can't wait. I'm like this.
They're going to get mad. You know what you do? It's like them old bad man that used to lick up all of the kids when they was younger, innit? When them kids get big and they start dropping licks back, the old man don't like it. And that's the level that we're at the moment. So yeah, Liverpool, long may your demise continue, man, because it's been you lot have had a good, these last 3 years has been painful, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. They won the Champions League, bro. You hope that's the end of it. And then they win the league. So, it was horrible.
Horrible, painful, wasn't it? It's painful.
Yeah, it's horrible. You know what I mean? Man's talking about, I'm glad Liverpool are flopping this season, man. I'm glad. My heart loves it.
So with it now, anything to add to that, Stoney?
No. I just wanted to add for Mr. B. Don't forget the World Club Cup and the Super Cup as well. Those are extra little sprinkles as well that were added on.
Yeah? So on here now, Sam for Life saying, what's Pogba's best position? I believe Pogba's best position is playing in the middle.
Yeah, centre of the park. Where he's playing now is his best position.
Yep, exactly.
But he's rotating. Sometimes he's been playing over on that left. In that 4-2-3-1, he's played him over the left, and he's still had an impact in as well, But I agree with you, because if we're looking where he was for Juve and where he's played for France, he's played in the middle of the park. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Whatever position you want to fluff it around, in the middle of the park is Pogba's best position.
So here Charles again said obviously Champions League and the league and international cups also. So obviously that's what you guys are interested in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of work has been done with Pogba on the coaching front. He's more direct these days. A season ago he was taking too many touches, trying to risk. Yep.
Can I answer that? Sorry, can I just interject?
Go on.
I think we have to be careful if we're saying that Manchester United's current coaching is Fletcher now part of your coaching staff?
Legend.
But if we're thinking If we're
Legend.
thinking Fletcher, has contributed to Pogba's coaching development, we have an issue. When we think of the coaching that Pogba may have had during his international, when he's playing for France and what he's had at Juve, and then you're talking about man like Fletcher and Nicky Butt even contributing, or Michael Carrick contributing towards Pogba's coaching. I have an issue with that. As a Liverpool supporter, I have an issue with that.
Bro.
Yeah, he's already had very good coaching already. So we have to be careful of that. He's a class player, man.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Look, all it is for me, I just look at that comment and I say to that person who made the comment, probably it's Ole in
It's
guy.
an Ole in guy.
Ole in it. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
when you're trying to find evidence to back your stance, and like it's that self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, because you like him, you want to just attribute all the credit to him. It's the same as when Brendan Rodgers was at Liverpool. All the Liverpool fans wanted to talk about how great Brendan was. I didn't, because I could see through the stupidness. I just knew that as soon as one player left that system, as far as I'm concerned, if you lose one player and that one player mash up the team, it ain't the manager then, is it? Do you know what I mean? It ain't the manager then.
Yeah,
like one player can have an impact, definitely had an impact. Like we lost Van Dijk, we lost Gomez, we lost Matic, we even had Alisson out, we had we've had Henderson and that. We had players out at the same time, and Klopp still made it happen, innit? Still made it happen, and then So for me, it's just you fulfill what you want, the evidence what you want, innit?
Yeah, Charles is saying there's going to be. You guys look like you're going to probably play a full strength team, as you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, I think that's
Millimino will play.
I hope so.
Yeah. So on here for Sam for life. So what is it? So doesn't the manager make a difference? With the management or team? Look at Chelsea.
I like the way he got that little slide dig in there. But
that's cool. Listen,
manager can make a difference.
Chelsea spent £200 million during a global recession. They got Frank in there. They got all of these decorators. Chelsea are going to blame their form and everything. They spent £200 million. They're going to say all of their players are recovering from COVID. They're going to say they don't know the system. They're going to say it's to do with Frank, whether it's not to do with Frank. Chelsea's a bad word in my house at the moment. So we'll leave that to another day.
So on here now, we've got Michael. He's saying, I don't rate Ole at all. Rubbish manager. Isn't like when Chelsea had Avram Grant.
Wow.
The team is on autopilot. Plus I think Mike Phelan has
Grant,
yeah. But you know what though, I'm gonna come back because he's a Chelsea fan, yeah. And listen, Frank Lampard, mate, I rate Ole more than I rate Frank Lampard. That's all I'm saying. Because Frank Lampard bottled it last season in the league, and he's bottling it this season after spending God knows how much money.
Yeah and no. I just feel like Lampard's had experience at a higher level than Ole before he came into the United job. Even though it's only Derby County, but where was Ole? Cardiff.
No, but you say that he's won 2 titles. He's won 2 titles back home in his own country. He took a team from relegation and won them 2 titles.
Man's talking about some Norwegian league. Are you serious? Are you serious, bro?
Listen, Ferguson came from Scotland and took Aberdeen from ruins and got them to win the European. What? When the last time a Scottish team won the thing?
He was about to get sacked in his 5th season. He was a game away from being sacked. Like, they gave him 5 years. You're not getting 5 years now, bro. No. Like, you're not. Come on, like, stop doing that. Stop talking about what happened before the dinosaurs and up to what's happening now in 5G times. Like, come on,
football's changed, man. And you can't compare Mulder to any Premiership team, boy.
Not even
we're comparing it to Derby. We're comparing it to Derby.
You can't compare it to Derby.
Mulder's different.
So Michael on here now is saying, what a question basically. What's our option on Van der Beek? Wasn't what is it? Wasted talent. Didn't United buy him? Ole is championship manager. Just like Lampard, Pogba is a baller. So let me go on to Van der Beek. A lot of people is coming out about the Van der Beek situation. I think Van der Beek signed a contract at United knowing Pogba is leaving.
Yeah. I agree.
Agreed.
100. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you 100% on that first comment, because we spoke about this on one of the previous shows as well about Van der Beek. I believe Van der Beek was purchased knowing that Pogba's going to be moving on. Van der Beek's going to have time to settle in, understanding Manchester United, how the other players work, how the structure work, and then if Pogba does move on by next season, you've already got a ready-made player. He's a good player, so I don't think there's any issue with there. That's part of the project.
Yeah, I thought he was a good player before you signed him.
Yeah.
I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to reserve judgment till he plays a little bit more.
So
Exactly.
Ole Ian,
Yeah.
So Ole Ian saying you still have to coach week in, week out. Basically, it doesn't matter.
Forget him. Like, next comment.
Lampard is the reason we are falling. We're falling.
Failing. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, failing. Yeah. Yep. So get me on that show when you are ready to talk Chelsea.
That's
okay,
fine.
Yeah,
Because
fine.
that's good. We'll do that. Because it's remember, it's the Man United Liverpool preview show for Sunday. We'll speak about Chelsea another day.
We've previewed the show longer than the match.
Yeah,
there you go. So again, Lampard. What is it? Lampard.
It's Frank de Boer in disguise.
Yeah.
Hey, don't disrespect Frank de Boer like that.
Exactly. He's mocking him. So guys, okay, let's go for prediction before the upcoming show. I'll talk about the upcoming shows. Okay. So let's go. Let's start off with stitches. Let's start with the Liverpool, their away play team. Come on, let's give us.
My heart tells me we're gonna slap them 4-0, but my head, my sensible talk, I see it being a draw. It might even go penalties if that's what it is. It goes
extra time than penalties.
It really depends. It really depends. It will be 0-0 or close 1-0. I think it depends what teams both managers put out. If we put out a strong team, then it could be worries in the dance for United, because I feel like being at home, they're going to have to be a little bit more progressive. Yeah. And that will give us opportunities. And listen, we're on a bad run like right now. At some point, it's got to end.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because the last couple games, we haven't actually played badly. We just haven't had the rub of the green, or we haven't put the ball in the back of the net. Once that starts happening, it's peak. Right, so let's see. I'm calling a draw, a penalty win. That's what I'm saying.
I think someone's been telepathic with Michael here, aren't they? So let's go to
get a penalty. Yeah, he knows. People know, innit?
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, that's Stoney. What's your prediction? What we're going with?
Okay, I'm just going through. I think if we look through history, this game's not going to be open. There's not going to be a goal fest. I just believe there's going to be a difference in one goal, 1-0 Liverpool. It is not going to be a game that we're going to look back in history and say that we've enjoyed. I don't think there's going to be any amazing moments during the game. I don't think it's going to be a tactical game by any means. It's going to be a scruffy game, and Liverpool just going to come out 1-0 victorious, and we're just going to move on to the next round in the FA Cup, and it's just going to be forgotten about. 1-0 Liverpool.
And Mr. B?
I want us to back at him so bad. After the last 1-0 where I was so vexed. Okay. I would say I'm going for 2-1 United. 2-1 United.
Okay. That's exactly what I was going to go for. A couple of comments before we wrap it up, guys. So this one will come to you, Liverpool fans. So Klopp doesn't have to coach anymore. You just turn up on a match day with no training.
Listen,
nobody can train now anyway. Everybody's looking at PowerPoints in their house. No players are training. So
yeah, there's too many matches in a row for players to train in. It's like it's just they're looking at tactics for the game. That's what they're looking at. And on top of that, like, come on, man, Adam, I know you're not a silly guy, right? Just because we said that one manager isn't having that impact through what he's doing, It doesn't mean every manager doesn't have
Yeah,
impact
yeah,
on what they do. Like,
Yeah.
you're being silly, like
True.
making that comment. Come on,
It's true.
you're better than that. Like,
True.
obvious. Klopp has got a history of developing players. You've seen it. It's been demonstrated time and time again. We talked about the fact that he inherited turds and he polished them. He's polished turds. Like, my man's been in a final almost every season he's been with us. Like, that speaks for itself. To even try and compare that to what we're talking about with Ole, you're smoking something.
So on here,
Exactly.
Michael?
And when we're talking about Ollie being behind the wheel, somebody just had a previous comment about, you know, trying to put Klopp in the same bracket as other managers. Ollie behind the wheel, you know, he's driving a vehicle by himself, and it's like a Robin Reliant. There ain't nobody else in there with him, he's in there and he's Todd.
Oh God! So on here, Michael, listen. If it's a penalty, mate, I'm a United fan. I don't care. I'll take it. I'll take it. I do not care how we win. It could come off his big toe. Don't care.
If it was any other industry in the world, there would be an investigation.
Listen.
Yeah, there would be an investigation. Some kind of insider trading, some kind of like wheeling and dealing in the background. Like,
Listen.
40-something% of the penalties in the league. That's unprecedented.
Yeah, but you say
Don't
that, but
kick
you know
us in
what?
the box.
Yeah,
Listen,
bro.
yeah.
Mr. B, I'd agree with you if no other team was having people tricked in the box. And
Well,
not getting
the thing is, yeah, Mr. B, quick one, yeah. I'm gonna say this, yeah. I was watching something on ESPN the other day, and they were talking about Man United fans and Jurgen Klopp. They say Jurgen Klopp should be basically ashamed of himself because he keeps coming out saying about Man United penalty. They showed a clip on against Newcastle when Mane didn't go down, and coming off at half time, you see Jurgen Klopp, they're doing a voice thing where they, you know, when they got someone to come in to read lips. Jurgen Klopp saying, "Why didn't you go down? Why didn't you go down?" Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we have to resort to. Because we virtually got assault. Like if that tackle that the goalkeeper done on Virgil van Dijk, right? If you'd have done that anywhere in the world on road, you're going to jail. You understand?
Yeah,
You're GBH. You're going to jail. That's what it's come to. Like, players are getting taken out and we're not getting penalties. So my man has to tell his players, like, you're gonna have to jump on the floor. Like, you're gonna have to fall over.
Right,
and even then, we might not even get the penalty.
But then they showed another thing.
Your players, your players, clearly we're not. Clearly we're not.
Yeah, but then they showed
your players can trip over their own feet and get penalties.
Yeah, so now
you can foul the opposition and get penalties.
Yeah. So what he then said on ESPN, it's almost like Jurgen Klopp's brought Man United into the limelight about the penalties to let Liverpool fans believe United and the media believe United get all the penalties. But you look at Leicester City, and they went through loads of clips of Leicester City. Leicester City had 10 penalties this season, and they showed only one of those penalties should have been a penalty.
Bruv,
Listen, you know what? I don't care. Bond Man United, yeah. You bring up all of these stats and say whatever you guys want to. I don't care. Bond Man United. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
You've got referees now coming and out and saying that they gave penalties favorably, even when they're trying to say Klopp. They've said it. My man said it himself.
But you say that.
But I'm not saying it. I didn't say it. He did. He said when it's Man United or Alex Ferguson, they gave penalties favorably. He even said it. He admitted it. So it's not like we're making this up, right? And where Man United fans are getting it twisted is because we're chatting Man United and Liverpool. So you're getting it. I'm not getting that. Look, what I'm saying is this: there's an inconsistency, right? I'm not saying this in favor of us. I'm just saying against the rest of the league. You guys, if there was 10 fouls, right? If it's Man United, you're getting 8 of them. If it's any other team, they might get 4. They might get 4. So I'm not saying that other teams don't get penalties. I'm not saying that because I know you're going to throw some stats and said we've had the same amount of penalties.
You've got the same amount of penalties as United this season.
That's not the point that I'm making. We should have had more, bruv. That's the point. That's the point. You've had the same amount of penalties as us with less penalty situations. Yeah, I'm saying you get 10 penalty options and you get 8 of them. We get 50 and we get 8 of them. You understand? There's a difference. It's the ratio. It's the ratio of penalties that we're talking about. But listen, it swings and roundabouts, whatever. Yeah. Everyone says it equals out over the season. I don't believe it does. Yeah, I'm saying I have a theory, and this is kind of like a bit crazy out there theory. But my theory is this: We ran away with the league so badly last year, right? City ran away with it the previous season, and we was up there with them. The powers that be don't want to see that no more. They want this close league. They want this close league. So they definitely are not going to be given any penalties that they might have given.
So
might have made us like 10 points clear. They're not
so
doing
when you
it.
won the league last season, can we say it's conspiracy then? You won the league?
Nah.
No conspiracy. You got more penalties than us last season, bro. You broke the record. You broke the record. What was it? 26 penalties. 26
conspiracy theory.
26 penalties. You can have your conspiracy theories, but I back mine with nothing in it. What's your evidence? What's your evidence?
We're crap. We're 3 years behind. We're 3 years behind Liverpool.
Bruv, you got 26 penalties and you still 30 points behind us. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Because look what happened this year. Our penalty levels continue that level, and you have dropped off.
We kept getting them penalties, and we've had a flipping barrage of injuries, whether you want to accept it or not. Like, we're having the worst possible season. If you, at the start of the season, before the season started, said, let me plot the worst possible season Liverpool could have, right? Yeah. That's what we're going through right now, and you're 6 points clear of us, and that's it.
Yeah.
You should be having a look at yourself. I'm surprised you're not like 12 or 20 points clear.
Well, you got to remember, I know people say no one had preseason games and we didn't have correct preseason, but you got to remember United only had one preseason game where they had to play 2 half against Villa in the preseason. Liverpool played, I think, 6 games in the preseason.
Bro, you can talk about preseason all you want, yeah? How many games did our squad play versus your squad last season? Bearing in mind, we went to how many finals? So you was all right. When you lot was chilling at home, resting your feet, when your players were injured, if our players played 18 months straight, pretty much. Every single one of them. 18 months straight.
Yeah, but it's conspiracy theory. You won everything. Don't worry. It's right.
Exactly.
You're throwing in conspiracy theory, but you're not throwing no conspiracy theory.
So on here,
you're not making sense. You can't just say conspiracy theory and then that's your whole argument.
So on here, quick one. Sorry, Sam for Life said 87 shots on goal and something ain't right there for Liverpool.
I'm gonna rename him Trigger.
Of course, he has an impact.
So,
that's going back to Adam. Of course, Ole has an impact. No matter what level of football you play, you get told to go down in the box. Listen, and that's true because I went to watch Barcelona.
You don't do that.
No. I'll tell you one thing. I went to Barcelona and I watched one of the training session, and all on it, I watched a good 15 minutes of how they were training Messi to drop on the floor.
That's fair enough, but you know, I disagree with that. It's to do with principles. Years ago, right? If we try and think how the British or English public wanted football played, what did they used to do? Talk about diving, and when Michael Owen never used to dive, now all of a sudden it's acceptable.
Yeah, it's a foreign sort of.
Right, regardless, there's principles though, man.
Let me answer though. Right,
it's mad.
Stoney. I have to disagree with you a little bit there, bro.
It's madness, man.
The fact of the matter is, if referees
I don't like diving.
You don't. I get it. Nobody does, right? But when referees ain't doing their jobs, when man's getting assaulted in a penalty area and the referee's not giving nothing, you have to. It's self-preservation. You have to, because you have to make it clear. I'm sorry.
I understand.
This is the way the game is.
Dislike it though, man.
I know.
Stay on your feet.
We could dislike it, but when players stay on their feet, they don't get rewarded. If you start seeing referees giving penalties even though the player didn't go down because it was a foul, then you would see it change. Yeah. And let's not get it twisted and start saying about the British don't stand for it. Look, the British can dive with the best of them. Just look at Man United. All these years.
100%.
Look at Rooney. Look, all of them. They've been diving for time. Right, so let's not make it out like it's the foreigners.
You know what I love is you guys forget about Torres, how he used to dive against United and dive against everyone else to get the penalties though.
He never used to dive. He never used to dive.
Rooney died.
He used to go out there and give Vidic smoke.
No.
There was no diving. Vidic used to get the smoke. There was no diving needed.
Solo United 7. Yeah, Solo United 7. Let's not get it twisted. You put words in my mouth, right? Let me spell it out for you. Your example of Torres is completely wrong. Let's get that fresh, right? He just gave Vidic nightmares. That's all it was.
Standing.
Other than that, right? Yes, there have been Liverpool players that have dived. I'm not saying there hasn't been, right? But in comparison to your team, bruv, like I feel like you have a whole training session on diving. You understand? You got mans out there like practicing pike. You know what I'm saying? Doing triple backflips and whatever. Like you understand? Like you've had Ronaldo was the master diver.
Listen,
Rooney,
Ronaldo, because of his pace,
master
yeah, you
diver.
touch Ronaldo, he
shut
goes.
up.
He
Shut up.
goes.
Is it Ashley Young, the bird poo eater? You're gonna talk
Listen.
about him? Like, bruv, behave yourself, man. Don't bring it to me about diving. Like,
No,
come
but
on.
you guys, all right then. You guys are saying that, yeah. Okay, you won the league last season, and there's some before VAR come in, yeah, because obviously VAR is now in the system where they pick up more than last season.
Yeah, but they're not picking it up this season, are they? They're not
But
even using it for us.
Again,
this
for
season.
me,
Turn it off.
with Liverpool at the moment, it's like you guys are saying none of your players dive. Really, you guys are picture perfect.
Nah, we don't.
No,
I got my Arsene
we're not
Wenger
saying
guys
that.
on.
Anorak, you got the
we don't
Anorak
dive,
as
man.
well.
Again, let me say it again. You're putting words in my mouth. I never said that. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I never said that.
So on here, Sam Spurs for life. Forget about the defense before VD and Alisson. Liverpool were scoring, winning 4-3, etc. What has happened to Mane and Fabinho?
The yin is not yang. Did you not log into the beginning, bro? Like,
When are Spurs playing Tottenham? When are Liverpool's playing Spurs next? Does anyone know at all?
Thursday.
If we do a show, can that Sam for life come on?
He does his
That
own
Tottenham
one
guy
as well. Yeah, he's on it. Sam
Perfect.
for life. They're doing the Spurs show.
That's going to be a good conversation. That's
Yeah.
good.
You
Make
guys
sure-
should do the preview show with him as well.
Make sure he's on.
All I can say is this: we're not scoring. Yes, it's a problem. We understand that the yin and yang ain't working right now. We get it. We're in a slump. We get it. But what's your excuse for not beating us? Sam's for Spurs for life. What's your excuse? Yeah, so you just told us we're not scoring in 87 shots and rare tear we scored against you though, bro.
He's bringing it to you boys.
We did, but we did though, innit? Like.
Yeah. Michael on here says, does anyone remember about when I remember when he was doing the dives, but listen, Salah does it. And again, let's get Liverpool away from my system for a minute. Let's talk about Hazard. Remember that player Hazard you guys had? He died for fun.
Again,
So,
I'm just saying the way the football's gone this year, like referees are not doing their jobs. Even if we were to talk about VAR, everyone talks about VAR. The system is not wrong. VAR system is not wrong. The reason VAR came in was because referees were fucking up. Yeah, let's not get it twisted. That's why VAR came in, right? But you still got the people who were messing up the thing, making the decisions. So you're still going to get that. The only difference is VAR allows us to see even more now. Where before, referee might make an error and you don't really get to see it. Now you get to see it in 3D and HD and living color. You understand? You see from all different angles how badly the referee messed up. So don't blame VAR as in the system. Blame the referees. The standard of refereeing has been atrocious, and it's been atrocious for a long time. And they're not dealing with that. They're not dealing with that. Technology's just highlighting it even more.
This Sam guy,
This guy. Yeah. Well, all I can say to that, Sam, for Spurs for life is Klopp talk yin and yang for how many seasons now? Yeah. Sometimes there's a disturbance within the force. You understand? There's a disturbance within the force. Yeah, and it might go out of sequence for a little while, but the yin and the yang will return. Don't worry. Hopefully, it will do against you on Thursday, innit? It will do against you on Thursday.
That preview show with
We'll
you,
set
man,
that
is
up.
going
We'll set that up.
It's gonna be
So-
fire.
Yeah, guys, you know the show's gone like 3 hours almost.
I know.
2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Man's got to actually go and watch some football and do some other things in real
So
life.
last one from Michael. Hazard was one of the most foul player in the Premier League. He was assaulted by I know. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo was assaulted every day he got on the football pitch, but
That's because he was a prick. That's why. It's a complete prick. No, let me quantify that. I'll tell you why he was a prick. right? Rate players
The
with
GOAT.
talent that can dribble,
GOAT.
right? I rate that, yeah. What I don't rate is when you're a flat track bully. Keep that energy against everyone you play in it. Don't go and play like dead teams like Swansea and start doing flipping a million step overs in the corner and trying to like dubs up a man when you're winning free. Like, no, do that against us. Do that against other big boy teams. Try and do those step overs there and see what happens.
Oh, don't worry, he did it against
That's why he's a
Arsenal.
prick.
He
Yeah,
did
well,
against Arsenal
I said
as well.
other
Don't
top
worry.
teams, bruv.
May the force be with you Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
see?
gonna be good.
You see how these Spurs guys move, right? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the energy they got for us now, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Big bad Spurs. And then it comes to Thursday and they get shown their lane, and then you'll see, oh yeah, but we're Spurs, innit? You should be beating us, innit? We're a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep the consistency.
So our IT guy, basically, even though it's gone over long, he's gonna go through this clips of the videos and then section them off so we can have them as well. So
Okay.
guys, listen,
Lovely.
let's wrap it up now, because
Perfect.
Man United, we've got the watch along tomorrow night as well. So tune in for the watch along.
No,
We've
thanks.
also we've got the watch along tomorrow at 5 o'clock kicking in. I guess we're gonna be joined with Smokey. Sorry guys, I'm
Corona.
no.
Smokey.
We're going to be with Stoney and Mr. B, and I think there's going to be a few more Liverpool fans joining us as well tomorrow for that show. Then after that, we've got the Carly Osborne FA Cup show as well, and that's going to have Stitches on it, and it's going to have Al Fitness on it as well with Carly Osborne. And then going on Monday, we've got a phenomenal show. And it's going to be the Man United reaction show with unofficial pundit, special guest with at FTV Stitches with him.
Ding, 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 round two.
Round two. So, guys, we need to keep an eye out for these show. And we also got the Leeds United show tonight as well at 9 o'clock, guys. So keep an eye out. FTV Sports, please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you later on today. Thanks guys.
Cheers.
All right, lads.
Bye.